If you are planning to buy a home in Southern Arizona this year, the June numbers just came out and they change how you should think about your offer. Because on the surface, this market looks completely flat. But underneath that flat number, one price range is quietly on fire. And if you are shopping above $600,000, you are walking into a very different market than everybody else. Stay with me because right around the halfway point, I'm going to show you the 5 areas where the luxury homes are selling the fastest, and one of them is going under contract in about 2 weeks. I'm Meg Estes, your easy home girl. I help people relocate to Southern Arizona for the land, the space, and a slower, better pace of life. So let me walk you through what June's market is telling us and what it means if you are the one making the move. Let's start with the number one everybody quotes. The region-wide median sale price in June was $359,440. Year over year, that is basically flat, down about 0.2%. Now, if you have been watching the headlines, you might expect me to say that is bad news. But it's not. A flat median is exactly what a healthy market looks like after years of fast, almost dizzying price growth. Prices are not crashing, but they're not running away from you either. They have simply taken a breath. And for a buyer, a market that has taken a breath is a market you can actually plan around. Here is the second piece, and it surprises people. Sales are up. There were 1,450 homes sold across Southern Arizona in June, and that is up 2.6% from a year ago. Total sales volume crossed $630 million. That's up 3%. So, more people bought homes this June than last June. If you have been sitting on the sidelines, worried that you would be the only person buying at the top, the data says the exact opposite. Demand is steady and it is healthy. Now, here's the part that matters most for your wallet. The typical home in June took about 36 days to sell, and on average, homes closed just under their asking price, about 1.8% under. Let that sink in for a second. On a typical deal, sellers are accepting a little less than what they're asking for, but that means that there's negotiating room. That is leverage. But, and here's what nobody is telling you, the leverage is not spread evenly across the market. Only in some price ranges is it wide open. In others, it's almost disappeared. Let me show you where. First, let's talk about how much is for sale because that is what drives your leverage. At the end of June, there were 5,184 active listings on the market, and that works out to about 3.5 months supply. Quick translation, under 3 months supply is a seller's market. 4 to 6 months is a balanced market. Anything above 6 starts to favor buyers. So at 3.5, we are sitting in that balanced zone that barely tilted towards sellers, which means you do have real choices. You are not fighting 10 other offers on every house. You have time to think, time to inspect, and time to negotiate. That is a very different world than we lived in just a couple of years ago. But here is what nobody tells you when they quote you that one flat median price. It hides the most important story in the entire market. While the overall market is flat, the luxury tier is on fire. So look at this. Homes between $600,000 and $700,000, those sales are up almost 30% from a year ago. Between $700,000 and $800,000, those are up 36%. And between $800,000 and $1 million, up 33%. So the whole upper end of the market, the exact range so many of you are moving into, is up about a third year over year, while everything else sits flat. And it's not just small homes driving it. The bigger homes, the 2,500 to 3,000 square foot home range, are trading around a $639,000 median, and the 3,000 to 4,000 square foot homes around $830,000. And those larger homes are selling in far greater numbers than they were a year ago. If you are an equity buyer coming from California, the Pacific Northwest, even like the East Coast or the Midwest, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not alone. A whole lot of people are making this exact move right now. So let me give you those 5 areas that I promised, and these are the pockets where the upper end is moving fastest. Number 1, the north side and the Catalina Foothills. Median sales price is around $650,000, and homes there are going under contract in about 21 days. Number 2, and this is the fastest in the whole region, the northeast, out toward the Foothills and Tanque Verde. A median around $600,000 and a median of just 15 days on market. 15. Number 3, the northwest, Oro Valley and Marana. A median around $450,000, moving in about 35 days. Number 4, out east to the upper southeast, which is toward Vail and Corona de Tucson. Your medians there run in the $310,000 to $380,000 range, which is a genuine value, and homes take a more relaxed 32 to 37 days to go under contract. And number 5, the grasslands and wine country to the southeast, Sonoita and Elgin. Fewer sales out there, and it is rural, but when those properties trade, they command a premium. With a median close to $450,000, the takeaway, at the top of the market, in the foothills and the northeast especially, the good homes move fast. If that is your range, being pre-approved and ready is not optional. So what does all of that actually mean for your offer? Let me put it together. If you are moving here with equity from a more expensive market, your dollar stretches dramatically. Region-wide, you are looking at about $223 a square foot. So if you compare that to what you are leaving behind in California or Seattle or Portland, and you start to understand why so many people are packing up. On most homes, you have negotiating room, but the typical property is taking about a month to sell and closing a hair under asking. But in those competitive luxury pockets, the foothills and the northeast, you need to be ready to move quickly when the right one shows up. So balanced market overall, competitive at the very top. Here is the practical version. Lead with a fair, well-supported offer. Lean on your inspections and do not be afraid to ask for a little closing help on a home that has been sitting for a while. But when you find that rare foothills or acreage property that checks every single box, write it clean, write it fast, and write it strong. That is the whole picture in one sentence. Oh, one more thing. And if this is important to you, if you are shopping for land or a horse property, which is what I specialize in, acreage and equestrian properties do not follow that median at all. They are their own little market. Price is driven by the things you cannot see in a county-wide number. The water situation, the zoning, how much of the land is actually usable, the setup of the barn and the arena. So please do not let a single median price tell you what your dream property is worth. For rural and equestrian buyers, the market update is the starting line, not the finish line. All right, here's how I can help. If you want the full breakdown of these areas, the neighborhoods, and the price ranges, along with exactly what your money buys in each pocket of Southern Arizona, I put it all into a free guide. Just text me the word June 26 to 520-980-9880, and I will send you my Southern Arizona Neighborhoods Guide. And if you are already thinking seriously about a move, that very same number reaches me directly, not an assistant, me. June handed relocating buyers a real window into this market, and I would love to help you make the most of it before it shifts again. I'm Meg Estes, and I'll see you out there.